Happy Monday, everyone. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend. I totally did. I got a chance to spend some time with friends. I went up north. The weather was fantastic. Today a little cold and rainy, but that's okay. No complaints because the weather here in New England was so beautiful this weekend. I went up north to an area called Laconia, and I saw a concert up there. And what I didn't know is that it was bikers weekend. And when I say bikers, I mean vroom, 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 that kind of biker. And we met this awesome couple from Australia, and they had traveled to the United States just to attend this bikers weekend. They're big bikers, that kind of thing. So they were so cool and so fun. And I saw Toby Keith, who is a country singer. He played at this place called Meadowbrook Pavilion, which is an outdoor venue. Beautiful, just a beautiful night. And he puts on a pretty darn good show. I mean, he sings for 2 hours straight, just about. And he's kind of fun to watch, very engaging. Although I think at the end, and don't hold me to this, but I think he was tipping back that red Solo cup just a little too much. He was slurring his words a little bit, but that's okay. It was a great show, great time, great fun. And I hope you had a good weekend too. I wanted to share with you something that a friend of mine from my Chicago class, her name's Val, she lives in Vietnam, and she put together something for one of our final projects, and she put together these 10 thought-provoking questions, which I loved. I thought this was really insightful. I think it's so important to spend time reflecting on where we are in our journey in terms of, okay, this is where we are and this is where we want to go. So this is where I found these questions to be really helpful, and I wanted to share those with you. And I'm going to be glancing over at my computer when so just pardon my glance here, but I wanted to share those with you if you have time to kind of reflect, or I think they're helpful to kind of gauge where you are and where you might want to go. So question number 1, do you like who you are? Who thinks about that? But it's a good question, right? Do you like who you are? Number 2, what would people say about you at your funeral? Seriously, what would people say about you at your funeral? I'm hoping people would say I was a kind, compassionate, giving human being. But, you know, in reality, let's think about these questions. They're very important. Number 3, what would you regret not doing in your life? That's a big one because many of us hold back a little bit. Instead of going for what our dreams are, instead of reaching for the stars, we hold back. So what would you regret if next week, next month, 100 years from now, you passed away and didn't have an opportunity to fulfill what? So that's a good question. Number 4, what's the wisest thing you have ever heard someone say? That really gives you some insight as to where your head's at, what resonates with you. Love that question. Number 5, what lessons in life did you learn the hard way? I know I've had some of those along the way. Number 6, how often do your biggest worries and fears come true? Okay. Number 7, if you had 1 year left to live, what would you try to achieve? That to me is huge. I want to spend every day living like, hey, tomorrow I might not be here. So I got to do be what I want to be at the end. You know, I don't want to wait till I'm 90 and say, okay, now I'm finally this whatever it is that I had in mind. No, I want to live today like I'm really proud of myself and I have no regrets. So that's a great question. Number 8, do you serve money or does money serve you? Really think about that. Do you serve money or does money serve you? What is your relationship with money? Number 9, are you afraid of being your true self around others? Why? I'm always talking about authenticity. That's one of the most, I feel, important goals as human beings, and one of our biggest challenges also is being authentic. Who am I? Owning who you are, appreciating, celebrating, all those things. And number 10, what are you grateful for? Attitude of gratitude goes the distance. It really does. So think about these 10 questions. You know, really put some thought into it, but don't go crazy, obviously. But it gives you some perspective about, hey, this is where I am now. This is where I might like to be. And it kind of gives you some framework to work with as far as really gauging where your life is at and where you might like to be. So I hope you have a great week. I'll connect with you later. Ciao.